prepared a resume already, and I'll be able to focus on the important areas that I have to discuss. So I'll just put it in the chat box so that you can participate.
Consultation पे बारिश webinar ना talk type है
I hope all of you got the link. It is menti.com. When you click onto that, it will go to a poll where I would like you to give your answers to a set of questions that I've asked so that I'll get an idea. So as I get the students responding yes, so you can just enter the code there and then respond to the answer. So I've got 9 responses. So I assume that most of the students have not yet started one. Okay, prepared one recently. Okay, so as you give your entries, I'll just start with the topic. So assume that most of you have not yet prepared your resume. So that is the reason why I just wanted to start with the resume and then go with interviews and group discussion. So let me tell you what are the things you need to keep in mind as you prepare your resume. So resume writing is an art where you need to focus on the content that you're going to put in, because this is going to be the first document that is going to go to the employer. And I put a quote over here: writing is easy, but all you need to do is to cross out the wrong words, because as you prepare, you don't know what is the employer looking for. So you need to check, recheck, and keep on revising or improving or modifying on your resume so that it will be the perfect one that you send to the employer. And know the purpose why you're preparing a resume. So as I put in pictures, and throughout the presentation, I'll be using pictures to talk on various topics. So when you prepare a resume, you should know the purpose. Why are you preparing one? So the first thing I would say is it's a self-marketing tool. I told you, it's going to be the first document that is going to reach the employer, and it is going to speak for you. So it should be designed in such a way that it is impressive and it is not rejected. And it should make them call you for the interview. That is why I put a call letter here. So the second aim is to make the employer or the company call you for the interview, and then you end up in your dream job. And the next thing that you need to keep in mind is back up your qualities and strengths. And for this, it is good to do a SWOT analysis. And if you are a management graduate, or if you have any background in commerce, you would know what is a SWOT analysis. And here I'm talking about personal SWOT. Personal SWOT, know your strengths, so that you will be able to highlight your skills, abilities, achievements that helps you get the job or make them call you for the job. And identify what are the areas that you need to work on, so that you can, over the period, work on it and see that it is converted into strength, and know your opportunities and what are the threats you're going to face. So it's good to prepare, take a piece of paper, draw 4 quadrants, and then list out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, and what are your threats when it comes to your career, or when it comes to choosing your career. And now it's time to choose your career. Okay, choose the dream job that you're going to apply for. And when you choose, you have already done an analysis of yourself. What are your strengths? What are your passion? Which is your area of interest? So, and you have a couple of opportunities available in front of you. So you need to make a decision as to which one to choose. Whether I'm going to choose a job that gives me money, or am I going to choose a job which is going to improve my talents, or am I going to choose a job which is going to be the one that I'm going to love doing it? Okay, so you need to look at all these aspects and choose a job that has all these in it. Okay, it's not just money, it's not just talent, it's not just the love. It should be a combination of this, and that brings your dream job, or that helps you get to your dream job. And now we start your job search, because you have various avenues from which you can search for your job. And it might be from advertisement. If your college has got a placement cell, they'll be coming up with various opportunities. On campus interviews will be there, so you will have various opportunities. So see which is the best job for you, and then apply for the job. And as you apply for the job, what happens is there is a process going at the background. Okay, so let me try sharing the video. Let me see if I can play it with the sound, so that you'll get an idea about what happens once your application is sent to the employer. So this, I've got 20, one second, responses, 21 responses. Let me stop sharing that. I hope you can see the screen now. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
No, what happened? Still you can see the screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I cannot hear the sound on the video.
One second. Is the audio clear? Was the audio played?
No, ma'am. The audio was not played.
Okay, one second. The video, you can see the video, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll just explain as the video goes, so that it will be clear to you what is shown on the video. Shall I do that? Even if it is without the video, I hope it will be clear.
Yes, ma'am. You can do it.
Okay. Still you can see the screen, right? What the screen is the video, right?
Yes, ma'am. We can see the screen.
Okay. So after you apply, to the organization. Company gets millions of applications. And they're saying that the company will use softwares to scan the application. The first stage is scanning the application for keywords. Once it is shortlisted, the recruiter would personally evaluate the applications, which looks for quality, analyze your skills and abilities, put in your resume. Now they've shortlisted, and then they call you for the interview. So you're called for the interview. So the main point is that whether your resume is prepared in such a way that it has the quality to be selected, and they call you for the interview. So that is the point that we need to keep in mind and prepare our resume. So that is where I'll be talking more on.
Do you know what number 2?
So effective use of keywords and title, that is one thing that they pointed out. And I told you, the companies use applicant tracking system or an applicant tracking software where it looks for the keywords. And how do they come up with these keywords? Now, when we search for the job, we're going to look at the advertisement that is being given by the company, isn't it? And they would definitely specify the job description, the skills required, and the competencies that they are looking in the candidate. So identify these areas and list these keywords in your resume. So I've listed few keywords. You can see it on the screen, like initiative, willingness to learn, leadership, working with a team. So these are some of the keywords that you can put in your resume. And look at a resume that is shown in the side. So nowadays, companies don't have time to run through CVs which are prepared in or resumes that are prepared in number of pages. Stick to one-page CV. So here is a design of a one-page CV, and look at the titles given. So I've just put it numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the titles given. So use these effective titles, and we have an order. For a fresher, there's an order to be followed as to what are the titles you need to put in. So you start with your name, your contact address, then your career objective. So when you prepare your career objective, you need to see that you put in your personal career objective as well as how you're going to contribute towards the organization's objective. Okay, so that two things should be the content of career objective. And then come to your education. So that is the order that we follow for a fresher. Education, then comes your core competencies, your project work, and if you've got any achievements, list down those achievements, then your personal details, then reference. So that will be the order to be followed, or the titles to be given for a fresher's resume. Okay, and see that it is neatly prepared and it's free from errors. So keep a check on the layout, the spacing, the font size. Okay, use simple fonts and font sizes. Simple font and font size to be kept to 12. Okay, titles can be given 14 and the content can be given 12. And sanctuary is a font that you can use for a resume. So this is the what is it, applicant tracking software compliant. So these fonts are applicant tracking software compliant. So if it checks through, it will not have any problem. Picking up the information in your CV. So these are the things you need to keep in mind when you prepare your CV. Okay, one page. See that contents are neatly laid down. The layout, the structure, then the order, then the keywords highlighted. Okay, so these are the things you need to keep in mind. Then look at the route of getting hired. So depending upon the type of job that you've applied for, they receive the application, they shortlist. We've already seen that they shortlist using an applicant tracking system or an applicant tracking software, and then it is also cross-checked manually by the recruiters or the HR manager. Then they come up with a selection process. It might have tests like aptitude tests. If you are looking for a software job, they will have a couple of aptitude tests. And depending upon the type of job that you're going to take up, they have various tests put it. Okay, and for a customer service executive, they have language tests, they have personality tests, they have situation tests, and followed by, once you clear these stages, then then a phone interview is conducted, and then they go for the technical interview, the face-to-face interview, and then they give you the offer letter. So there are various stages you need to go through before you get into your dream job. Okay, so this would be the same order I'll be following in my presentation. So we have already seen the first communication that goes to the employer is using your resume, and then they shortlist it, and then they have a couple of steps or stages that we have to go through before ending up in your dream job. So the next topic would be interviews. So now be positive and imagine that you're prepared a wonderful resume, and they have shortlisted your resume, and then they have called you for the interview. You've got the call letter, and now starts your preparation. Okay, so before the interview, what should be done? During the interview, what should be done? And after the interview, what should be done? So these are the three areas that I'll be touching upon when I talk about interviews. And before the interview, you need to do a thorough research about your employer, okay, and the job description that you're going to take up, the job position that you're going to take up. So how do you get this information? You search for their websites, and you can also talk to your friends or relatives who are working in that company to get a better idea about the organization, the head of the organization, the new projects they are into, so that you have an idea about what they are into. And a person who has deeply researched about the company would be able to answer to certain questions that I'll be discussing in my coming up slides, where they get an idea, okay, this person is interested in this job, and he's ready to take up the job, and he has already researched on the company. Okay, that is the first step that you need to do. And second thing is, look through your resume, because they are going to ask a lot of questions from your resume, because you have produced a lot of information, or you have given them the information about your skills, your competencies, your area of interest, and these would be the areas they're going to definitely ask you questions. So be prepared with all those areas. Normally they start with the basics and get into the depth. That is how they do it. So if you mentioned about your subject of interest or area of interest, try to research and collect as much as information and be well prepared about that particular area or the subject that you have already mentioned. So like that, go through your resume. So next example I can give you is your project work. If you mentioned about your project work, be well prepared about that project that you've done. So if at all they ask you questions about your project, you'll be able to tell them in depth, or you'll be able to explain to them what you've actually done and how it is going to contribute, or what skills that you have in you by doing this project that is going to be helpful for the organization. Okay, so that is how you need to go through your resume and be prepared about what is the information that is provided to the employer. Then what you do is practice. Once you've done your preparation, practice. Okay, normally what I ask my students to do is I ask them to do it in front of a group of friends or people who you are comfortable with. Then I also, when I train them, I also give them mock interviews so that we'll be able to get an idea what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, where all should I improve on. And when you do that, that activity is no longer new to you. Okay, so that is the one advantage of taking a mock. Okay, practice and taking a mock. That helps you to a great extent in improving your confidence level. Then look sharp and be sharp. So dress appropriately and be confident. And right from the beginning, you enter the walk into the interview venue, you're being watched. Okay, so that is one thing that you need to keep in mind. So I'll be touching about direct interviews, I'll be touching on phone interviews, and I'll be talking about online interviews. So three, though due to the pandemic now, it's become a new normal that online interviews are conducted by most of the companies. In future, I believe that things are going to get normal and we will be definitely having direct face-to-face interviews. Okay, so this would help you in that particular situation. Okay, and during the interview, so I put three pictures over here. During the interview, as you walk in, they take your resume. Look at the person; got your resume with him, and he's going to start up with some warm-up questions. Okay, so how was the day? How was your travel to the venue? So these are some warm-up questions that they're going to ask you because they know that you are a bit nervous, and in order to make you calm and comfortable, they ask these warm-up questions. So always have a smile on your face and then give positive answers. If I give you an example, so how was the day? You can say that, oh my, sir, it was a fantastic day, and I was so happy that I got this opportunity, and I was all filled with positive energy to face this interview. And the Paraya. Okay, so that should be mentioned. Okay, so give positive answers. They ask you, how was the day? Don't say that, oh my God, it was such a bad day. I got stuck up in a traffic jam on my way to the interview. No, never give negative answers to such warm-up questions. Okay, and then comes the second part. Okay, they're getting into serious questions. Okay, they ask you to introduce yourself, and the second image shows the person asking serious questions. Okay, so then you can change your body language and give your answers with an open gesture. Look at his hands. He's opening his hands, and then he's giving replies to the questions. Okay, so be confident and have a confident body language and posture, and face the questions. And if at all you're not able to answer to any question, or certain questions are not clear, it's okay to ask them to repeat and get your questions clarified. Especially in the online context, people have a problem with this. Okay, so might be you cannot get it clearly, and you have the questions are not clear to you. You can definitely tell them, pardon me sir, could you please repeat the question. Okay, and if you don't know something, it is okay to say, sorry sir, I don't know, rather than beating around the bush and saying, then making up answers. Okay, because these people are really experienced, and they know the person, or they will be able to analyze the person sitting in front of them. Okay, the psychological thought process that is going through you, the body language, everything speaks. It's not just your words. Your body, your words and your expressions speaks a lot. If you take the percentage of body language, the communication, verbal, it's just 7%. 7% of your words communicate things to people, and 35% it's through your tone you communicate, and more than 55% it's you communicate through your body language. So body language is very important when you do your interview. Okay, and then the last one is winding up. So when you finish your interview, say thank you, and then give a strong handshake. You need to be very careful when you give your handshake also. Okay, so give a strong handshake, and then thank them for the opportunity that is given, and wind up. Okay, so I've got another video. Again, I'll speak through the video as it is played.
Nih, level mana ya? Nih.
An interview can make or break an opportunity.
I hope now
So
the
to help
audio
you
is clear.
really prepare, we're going to dissect and
Yes, ma'am, it's
analyze an
clear.
entire interview from start to finish. I'll be sprinkling in a mix of tips about body language, etiquette, and how to answer common questions. Like when exactly does the interview start? How do you deal with nerves? And how soon can you follow?
Is the video audio also audible? Can you listen to the video's audio?
Yes, ma'am, it is audible.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Follow up.
Next one.
For years, athletes have used science and data analysis to improve. Now, we are doing the same for job seekers everywhere. This is job science. Meet Anya, a recent grad majoring in business administration. She's interviewing for an entry-level project management position. Note her posture. Head up, shoulders pulled back, no slouching, and no laid backness. The interview begins the minute you walk into the building. Anya treats everyone in the office with respect while keeping eye contact. From security personnel to receptionists, anyone you run into on your way in could be asked to give feedback on you. It's normal to be nervous. When nerves kick in, the natural human response is to take short breaths and breathe faster. Stay calm by taking a deep breath before entering. Hold it, count to 3, and then slowly breathe out.
Pala.
Pause. First, ace those introductions. Greet everyone in a way that is authentic to you, like, hey, nice to meet you, and then say their name. That one always works. You know, you're more likely to remember their name if you say it out loud when you first meet. A lot of the time,
So here, in this context, the person is opening the door for the interviewee. So in our context, what normally in India we have is we knock the door and we get inside. So knock, ask permission, get inside, and then wish the panel. If you've got ladies in the panel, wish them first. Good morning, madam. If you have 2-3 people, you can just collectively say good morning, panel members. Then they'll show you to take your seat. And once they ask you to take your seat, say thank you and then take your seat. So that is normally how we in India, we follow a pattern. And here, look at the person, the interviewee, she's keeping her hands on the table, okay? Normally in India, we don't keep the hands on the table like that, okay? You keep your hands on the lap. And then comfortably position yourself, sit straight and position yourself on the back of your seat so that you're confident, your posture is straight, and you're going to face the audience with more confidence. Okay, so that is one thing that you need to keep in mind. And normally we say we are formal when we wish. We never say hi and wish. We say good morning, sir, good morning, madam, and good morning, panel members. So wishing, it's formal.
small talk comes up before any questions. It's good to have a few current events or topics in mind. You can't possibly predict what they're going to ask, but you can practice answering the common ones, like, why do you want to work here? What makes you unique? Let's see what our interviewer asks.
So I want to hear more. Tell me a little about your experience and what you'd bring to this role.
Pause. When this is asked, they're looking to learn what makes you stand out. Be honest with your answers. That means having to pause and think for a second. That is all right. Think about your past experiences and how the role lines up with your future goals. It never hurts to be honest.
Great question. Ever since I was young, I've always been the organized one in my family. Whether it was helping my parents schedule vacations or color coordinating my closet, naturally that lifestyle got me here, project management. I've been a people person for as long as I can remember. Plain and simple, I love team building and making sure everyone has a part. Just the other month.
Oh, just really quick, don't speak negatively about previous places you've worked. Instead, talk about what you've learned.
I helped lead a team of 5 to deliver a 3-week sales project a few days ahead of schedule. I'd love to bring these things here.
Perfect. A response like this not only answers the question, but also shows off her personality. But remember, there's no one right way to interview and answer questions. Be yourself and let your personality shine. Be aware of your movements. Practice polite, confident body language. Subtly miming your interviewer's posture can actually create a sense of connection. Of all places, unnecessary movements are hard to ignore in an interview. Whether it's tapping your fingers or bouncing your leg, be aware and stay present.
Hey, it's been great chatting so far. I guess my last question is, do you have any questions for me?
Ooh, this is a hot one. Make sure to have a short list of questions for your employer in your back pocket. Ask the questions you would if you got the job. Tomorrow is your first day. What would you want to know from the manager? Even if you don't have any burning questions, asking a few shows that you did your homework and that you really care. Some include, what do you like best about working here? What are some mistakes people have made in this position? What is a goal you're currently working toward? How will my performance be evaluated?
Well, I did read that you're expanding your sophomore team next quarter. I'm curious how you plan to carry that out.
The interview isn't actually over. Always follow up within 24 hours with a thank you email to the hiring manager. This can be a quick note simply thanking them for their time, or a longer one that elaborates on some of the things you talked about. It's key to leaving a lasting impression. This was the breakdown of an interview. Till next time.
So I hope that was very clear about what are the things you need to keep in mind while doing an interview. So moving forward, so the first question that you're going to face, though in the video they didn't mention much about that part, let me touch upon that particular question, that is for sure. Okay, so they're going to ask you to introduce yourself, or we would like to know more about you. So these were the questions that you're going to face first. I told you they start with warm-up questions. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, okay, thank you. So, talk about yourself. Here, you need to structure your self-introduction because that is going to create the first impression. And you're going to highlight why you are the best fit for this particular position. So, how do you structure your self-introduction? Start with your name. So, if they already call you by your name, you can just ignore. Or if they just casually call you by your first name, you can start with your full name and just tell them where you're from and then brief about your family. So very little about your family because they're not much interested in about your family. Okay, so 1 or 2 lines about your family and then focus on these 3 points, that is your traits, okay? Because what qualities do you have in that will help the company. So that is what they're looking for. Okay, so highlight your personality traits and competencies that you have, and then talk about your achievements and recognitions gained, and then mention about your skills and abilities. Okay, that would help you do the assigned job or the proposed job in a best possible manner. Okay, and rather than just listing out that I'm good at Java, I'm good at team skills, I'm good at I'm a people person, you can just give examples of why you say so. You can connect with things that you've done on campus. Okay, you've organized various programs. You can say that I've organized a conference, an international conference, and that has helped me improve my people skills and my presentation skills and organizing skills. Okay, so give examples that supports the points that you mentioned, the skills that you mentioned. Okay, if you're talking about your technical skills, talk about a project that you recently did or a competition that you participated, and then how that competition has helped you improve your knowledge in a particular area and your technical skills. Okay, so these are the things that you need to include in your self-introduction. Okay, so your name, where you're from, and about your family, very little, more about your skills, abilities, your traits, and your achievements that will help you get this job. And understand that the attention span is just 30 seconds. Okay, so limit the to 3 key points that you want to highlight, and that will put you in a better position, or will give you that competitive advantage over the others. Okay, so highlight those key points. I told you, keywords we've already been analyzing right from the time we are preparing for our resume. Okay, so you know what is the company looking for, what are the skills they're looking for, what are the competencies that they're looking for. You see and align it with the skills and abilities that you have, and the tasks and assignments that you have taken up in college or in your previous job, and then highlight those things. Okay, so that they are sure, okay, this person has got these skills. Definitely they're going to ask you follow-up questions when you put in these questions. If, for example, if you talk about your project and this is what you've done in your project, the question starts about your project, your technical, technical aspects about your projects, and it goes on. Okay, so you give that start point. Okay, and you can direct the way the interviewer wants to ask you the questions. Okay, you can decide. You have the control. So some students are very, as I train them, they are very good at this. Okay, so they bring the interviewer to the area that they want them to ask the questions on. So suppose if I want them to ask more about my project, I will highlight my project there. And then I'll be taking them to the area of interest that if it is aligned. Okay, so you can use these tactics when you start with your self-introduction. Okay, but you need to be prepared with all these areas that you're going to take them to. Okay, sometimes it will be structured, and most of the cases I find interviewers asking questions based on the answers you give. Okay, so that is how normally I see it with the freshers. Okay. And there are companies that go with structured questions, and plenty of such questions are available. We're also sharing few questions that are normally asked, the common questions that they ask. So here, look at these questions. How did you hear about our company? Why do you want to work with this company? Why do you want this job? Why should we hire you? Okay, so these questions are asked to know whether you know about the company. Are you really interested in the job? Have you researched about the company? And what is your long-term plans when you take up a job in this particular company? Are you planning to switch after a few years? Okay, why should we hire you? You'll be talking about your goals and your career objectives there. Okay, so listen, as in the video they were mentioning, don't jump into answers. Listen to the question carefully, think for a while, and structure your answer. Give your answer, okay? And see that it is not contradicting. I have seen students having that problem as they do the mock. They start with something and end with an entirely opposite view. Okay, so plan. Take a second or few seconds to plan the answer that you're going to give, and then give your answer. Okay, 1, 2, 3 seconds to think is okay for giving an answer. Okay, the way you saw in the video. Then these are another set of questions. What do you do? What do you consider to be your weakness? Okay, one more thing I forgot to tell you. When you give your introduction, self-introduction, don't mention about your weakness. Only if they ask you about your weakness, you mention that. Okay, otherwise, put all the good things that you have, and that would help you get the job. Okay, and if at all they ask you questions about your weakness, try to answer a weakness that would seem a strength for the organization. Okay, so one example we can say that I'm a very compassionate person, but at times I feel that being compassionate is disadvantageous because people take advantage of that quality in you. Okay, so I need to maintain a balance between the two. Okay, so like something like that. Okay, being compassionate is a people skill. For companies, they require it, and you're saying that is your weakness. But I think that maintaining a balance would help me. Okay, I need to maintain a proper balance. You're aware that is your weakness, and you're conscious, and definitely you're going to work on your weakness. Okay, rather than simply saying that I'm very poor in Java, very poor in my leadership skills, or very short-term. Instead of giving negative weaknesses, try to think about a good quality that you have in you. Suppose another example I normally see on the net is being perfectionist. They definitely like people being perfect, but the drawback is it takes time to complete your job. Okay, so your ability to work with deadlines was a problem. So that can put it as a weakness. Okay, so I'm just giving you examples. So again, when you talk about your weakness, remember the SWOT analysis we saw. So look for weakness that you can convert it into a strength. That would be a strength for the organization. Then what is your greatest professional achievement? Okay, again here, these questions are asked to know more about your skills and abilities. So highlight with examples your skills and abilities. Okay, then comes phone interview. So we saw in that stages, or when they carry out the selection process, there are various steps involved. Okay, and after you have a test, they might ask you call you for or they might have a telephone interview. Okay. Is there any problem? Anybody wants to say something? I saw a hand raise. Shall I move on? Any questions you would like to ask? Okay. So,
You can move.
okay. So, if they have a phone interview, what are the things you need to keep in mind? Okay. Again, here before, during, and after. So, maintain a checklist. Okay, because they will have certain things they would like to know about you. Okay, prepare a checklist because already communication would be given to you about the time and time of the interview and what are the things they would like to know about you. Okay, so keep all the things ready and see that it is free from distraction. The room is free from distraction. There's no noise and no other distraction that would hinder the communication. Okay, and have a pen and paper handy so that if at all they tell you anything, you'll be able to make notes. Okay, and then if it is inconvenient, if it was not already informed, and if you're not in your home or in a quiet place, ask them for a reschedule. Okay, if it is convenient for them, so put in a polite way whether it's possible to reschedule or is it convenient for you to reschedule. Okay, so that you can put it and then fix a time and make sure that you're available on time and see that your phone and it's in proper range and there is no clarity issue when you talk. Okay, and it's properly charged. It should not you should not be able to stop the conversation because you didn't have the enough battery charge. Okay, so all these things you need to keep in mind. Okay. Then what are the things during the interview? So you introduce yourself as we already saw. Speak clearly because while on phone, make sure that you're close to the speaker and then you clearly speak rather than mumbling. Okay, and then minimize background noise and see that it is a calm place and you are clear when you're speaking. Okay, and take notes and ask questions when prompted. If they ask you, do you have any question? If you want to know more about, if you want any clarification, you can definitely go for clarifications and then send a thank you note. Okay, so that is about telephone interview. And then comes online interview. So I've already told you this has become a new normal now because of the pandemic. Face-to-face interview is not possible and most of the companies have resorted to online interview. So again, here we'll be seeing at what are the preparations that you need to make before going for an online interview. See, just like preparing for a face-to-face interview or a direct interview, you need to prepare for your online interview. And be punctual because most of us would be attending our online interview from our home. Okay, the one advantage about it is that you are in a comfort zone. Okay, and you're familiar with the place. When you go to an interview venue, it's a new place, new environment, new people. So that is not there when you sit in your home and then attend. So that is one advantage you have. Another disadvantage is since it is at home, you take it for granted that you'll be on time, but there would be a lot of issues when you try to log in and then start your interview. Okay, so you need to be familiar with the technology, check whether there is any problem. So it's better to log in 10 minutes before and check whether everything is perfect. Okay, so that is one important thing that you need to keep in mind. So log in 10 to 15 minutes prior to your interview. Okay, that gives you an added advantage. Okay, and second one is the technology. Okay, you would be using new software. Suppose when we conduct online classes, we have Zoom platform, we have Google Meet, we have Go Meeting. So there are a lot of platforms used. So we need to be familiar with the software and the technology used by the company. Definitely they'll give you instructions as to how to go about with it. You need to be clear with those instructions. Okay, so that is one thing that you need to keep in mind. Be aware about the technology, be prepared and see that it's smooth. Test your internet connection, whether it's strong. There are a lot of online, I'll be showing you a video which clearly talks about these online sites or sites which helps you check your net connectivity. Okay, so check all these things and see that the technology is perfect. Okay, you're familiar with the technology and there is no hindrances because of the technology. And then look at your settings. It should be free from distractions. Okay, you might have pets, you might have children around. Okay, so see that everything is kept aside, and you tell your family members that you're going to have an interview and you don't want any distractions, and also ask them to switch off their Wi-Fi or internet connection if they are using the same connection that you are using, so that it doesn't create a problem for you. Okay, and see that the lighting is perfect. See here, when I'm sitting in front of you, I see that I make sure that the light is from all the sides. I don't have any light behind me. Okay, so when it's behind me, your face would be dark. Okay, that is one important thing. When I do ask my students to come for a mock, the lighting is one problem I saw. So what I ask them to do is either sit facing the window so that there will be natural light coming onto your face. Okay, and see that the room is well lit. Okay, so that the interviewer can see your face. Okay, and see that your surrounding is free from any distractions. So that is one thing. And speak slowly and clearly when you give answers. Okay, and listen carefully, because we are interacting from a distance. So because of technical glitches, there might be situations where things might not be clear. Okay, so you need to wait, and if at all anything is not clear, ask for clarifications. Okay, and here also, when I ask you a question, I'm thinking it is taking some time to reach you, and when it's taking some time for the response to come to me. Okay, so wait for some time, and so that there is no problem of over talking. Okay, so that is one thing that you keep in mind. Then your attire. So even if it is an online interview, make sure that you're in proper attire, just like the one that you go for your direct interview. Okay, we're going to a venue and then facing your interview. So attire. For girls, better go for a formal Indian suit. For boys, light colored shirt with tie, if that gives you more of a confidence. Okay, hair neatly made, and see that your face and all is if you're having beard and all, it's properly trimmed, and then you maintain yourself very very well, and then you present yourself with more confidence. Okay, and then watch your body language. Even if it's an online, see that your face, look at the camera, and then you talk. Okay, so that is one important thing. Practice. So for that, you can just take the help of one of your friends or a person who can do this for you, and see how you do that. Okay, so I'll play a video once again, so that gives you clarity about what I just said. Okay.
Any of you. You're not used to them, so you're a bit stressed. But you give it your best and start the interview. While doing the video interview, you feel good. You answer the questions rightfully, and you make sure you are clear in your explanations. You click on the submit button and you relax. I think it went well, you tell yourself. But a couple of days later, you receive an email saying you were not taken. And you don't understand why. You thought you nailed the interview, so what happened? In this video, I will show you 5 subtle mistakes to avoid in a video interview so that the situation I just explained never happens to you. I'm sure you don't want to miss an exciting opportunity at a job you really need simply because you weren't able to avoid these easy mistakes. So here's what you have to do. You probably want to jump right on your computer and start your video interview, but take a step back and avoid the first mistake many people make: lack of preparation. You have to prepare for a video interview the same way you prepare for a real job interview. Higher view interviews are usually structured. You will have the same questions as all the other applicants in the same order. Think about that for a second. Imagine you're an HR professional watching over 50 videos of the same questions being asked in the same order. Who will you remember? The person with the most outstanding answers and gestures. To become that person, record yourself on a computer or your phone answering popular questions such as "Tell me about yourself." This will give you the opportunity to evaluate how you will look like in a video and see how you can give better answers as well as get more comfortable in front of a camera. You can evaluate your gesture, your enthusiasm, and the way you answer questions. Show it to trusted friends. They can give you valuable insight that you can't see yourself, and then make appropriate changes. When you feel ready, you can go on your desk or whatever the place you choose to start your video interview. But make sure you avoid this second mistake, not controlling your surroundings. Avoid being this guy. I mean, look at that tie. Make sure the light doesn't change because of the sun and the clouds by closing your curtains. If you live with people, make sure you tell them you're video interviewing so that they stop being loud. And kick out your pets from your room so that they don't disturb your background. I know it's gonna be hard. Now you have yourself a winning set to film your video interview. But before starting, make sure the HireView app runs smoothly by avoiding the third and most popular mistake, the technology. If you're using your phone to film yourself, make sure you have the latest version of the HireView app. If you're using your computer, make sure you have the latest version of Adobe Flash. You should already have it if you decide to use Google Chrome. Next, check your internet connection using websites.
So here, depending upon the softwares that they are using, they would be giving you instructions as to what you should do. Okay, so based on that, here they're talking about HireView. There would be various softwares used by the HR managers or the interviewers. So be familiar, follow the instruction, and be prepared.
Sites like speedtest.net. You should have a minimum of 2 megabytes per second for your download and upload if you want the best results. If you're below that, try moving closer to your router or simply ask people in your house to turn off their Wi-Fi for the duration of your interview. Oh, also, please make sure you plug your device. The last thing you want is your computer or phone turning off right in the middle of your interview, right? Perfect, you're prepped now. You are in control of your surroundings and you checked your tech. Now the moment you've been waiting for. Open the HireView app to start the interview. But take it slow. Make sure you avoid this fourth mistake, not reading the instructions carefully. When you start the HireView app, you should have a setup page where it gives you fast facts about the process, as well as a quick tutorial. Make sure you read everything because they will give you important information about the timing, the different buttons, and more. Next, please do the practice question they give you. Too many people think they're badass and skip it just to get over the interview. But do it. It will give you a short impression of what your video will look like so you can adjust maybe the light, the background, the audio, and also your body language. Awesome. Now that you're prepped, let's go start the interview. You'll have 30 seconds to think about the question they just showed you, and then you'll have up to 3 minutes to answer. If you're done answering before the time's up,
so these are few instructions that few things that they've given you, tips that they've given you, and once they wind up. So for software companies and all, it would be just like the direct interviews that they conduct. Okay, so there's no much difference between a face-to-face interview and the question structure for a online interview. The structure would be almost the same. Okay. So only thing you need to be familiar with the technology and the instructions that they give you. When to join in, what are the things you need to keep handy when you do your interview. Sometimes they might ask you your PAN card to be ready, so that they need the identification if you're the same person. So keep all these documents and all ready when you do your online interview. Okay, so that is another thing that you need to keep in mind. And then thank the interview for the time. Once you finish, thank the interview for the time and effort that they have put in, and follow up. Okay, so that is about online interview. So we move on. And some other things that you need to keep in mind, look at directly at the camera as I told you, and don't be afraid to ask questions if you want clarification. Check your sound system if everything is clear, and be clear when you speak, and make or be aware about your facial expression, okay, because everything is recorded, okay. So be careful about your expression. That is why taking a mock or recording yourself or using your mobile phone, you get an idea about your problems and which are the areas you need to improve on. And then pause before answering to any question, because there would be a time lag between the interviewer asking the question and then you answering the question. Okay, so wait for some time till he finishes and then you give your answer. Okay. Then after the interview, so now we've done with your interview. I've told you direct interview, what should you do, phone interview, what should you do, online interview, what should you do, and how to go about during the interview. And then when it's done, send a thank you note. Okay, when you finish your interview itself, you give them tell them thank you, but after that you just send a mail, okay, thanking them, send up a follow-up mail thanking them for the time and effort that they put in. Okay, so that is what is put on the screen. Politely and sincerely thank everyone who has assisted you, right from the front desk to the entire team who has helped you. And then straight after the interview, send an email and then follow up within a couple of days about your position. Okay, so that is how you do follow up. And second one is reflect on your experience. So you would be able to get an idea about how you did. Did you fare well in the interview? What improvements do I need to make? Okay, because when you're in that hot seat, there would be certain things that you forget, and then you don't have that presence of mind, and then you end up doing some mistakes. So analyze and see whether it went smoothly. Was there any area that I need to change on? Okay, so the next time you don't make that mistake, and then learn from it. Okay, so this is a format of a follow-up letter. The first paragraph would be thanking the person, okay, and then second paragraph would be talking about your interests, goals, and experience, and then set yourself apart from other highlights the skills and abilities that you have that sets you out from other candidates. Okay, so that is how you put it, and then send a follow-up mail. Then comes the last topic, that is group discussions. So here, why I didn't put this group discussion first was not all companies have group discussion as a selection criteria. So that is why I put it at the end. So this is how it goes. If they have a group discussion, they receive your application, they shortlist your application, then they have a test conducted, and then after you clear your test and you're shortlisted, they call you for a group discussion. And group discussion is a mass elimination tool used by the employer. Okay, because if they have a large number of eligible candidates and still they are not able to shortlist them, what they do is they call them for a group discussion, because they will be able to evaluate a lot of aspects in a candidate, which helps them to shortlist the candidate faster than calling them for a face-to-face interview. Okay, because face-to-face interview will be one-on-one, so it is time consuming. So that is why they have this group discussion as a selection criteria. Okay, so that is another topic that we will be dealing today. And group discussion for a workplace, it's a common thing in a workplace. So equipping yourself to be a part of a team and be a contributor, an effective contributor in a team, it is really good, and it's an added advantage in a workplace. Okay? Coming up with your opinion, being more polished and polite when you share your ideas and views in a group discussion. Okay? So what are the situations where you have group discussion? It's generally to draw ideas and suggestions. Okay, and when employees are part of a group discussion, it increases the morale in the sense, one second, one second please. Okay, sorry for that inconvenience. So I was talking about group discussions in a workplace, isn't it? So when employees become a part of a discussion, it increases their morale. They have this feeling, okay, I'm also a part of a project, or I'm also involved in that decision making. So that is another reason why companies have group discussion in their workplace. Okay, and then it also helps solving problems, because there are a lot of people coming together and coming up with their ideas and suggestions and solutions to problems. Okay, so that is why group discussion is a common thing in a workplace. And then second thing, here for us it is a selection criterion. Okay, it's used as a selection criterion. And what are the things they evaluate when you do a GD? So it is the subject clarity, the capacity for logical analysis, firmness of opinion, your team ability, communication skills, leadership skills. So these are certain qualities they evaluate in the candidate when you do a GD. So this is something that you should deal with utmost care. Okay, because the moment you enter into a discussion, you're being watched. Not only by your words are they assess you, it's through your expressions and your body language that they assess you. So you need to have that presence of mind and then respond in a group discussion. Okay. And business schools, again, when business schools, while you get your admissions into business schools, you have this as a selection criteria. And most of the companies, they have, especially for sales job and front office job and all, to test your communication skills and your team ability, they have group discussion as a selection criteria. For software companies, most of the companies have this as a selection criterion. Okay, so what are the things they analyze? Again, they look at the content, the communication, your group behavior, how well you work in a group. Okay, the group dynamics is what they look at, your leadership skills. Okay, so these are the things that they evaluate. Now the process, how do they carry out? And there are different methods adopted, or different ways in which group discussion is conducted by various organizations. If you take the case of Army and Navy, when they have their SSB, they have a very different style of conducting group discussion. Okay? And when they come to campus, they have 20 to 30 candidates, and they will be given a minute to talk on a particular topic, and then they leave it for discussion. So it depends upon the company how they carry out this group discussion process. Normally, this is how it is done. You will have 8 to 10 candidates formed into leader-less group. It is a leader-less group. So leader emerges from the group based on your personality traits. That is why I told you one reason why they have this is to assess your skills, abilities, your traits. Okay, and they give you a situation or a case to analyze, or they give you a topic that is discussed on, and then the panel will evaluate each and every member based on your contribution. And basic rules that you need to keep in mind when doing a GD is position yourself comfortably. Okay, normally when it is a semicircle, a leader would always choose a middle chair. Okay, they go there so that they can see everyone and then talk to the group. Okay, so how do you position yourself is also something that is evaluated by few employers. Okay, so position yourself comfortably, and when you take your seat also, what do? They see that everybody has sat down and then they take their seat. Okay, so that is a person who is considerate. Okay, so it depends upon your trait, how do you choose the seat. Here again, right from the moment you are in the venue where this is conducted, you're being watched. Okay, so have that presence of mind. Carry yourself with more polish and professionalism, and interact with more professionalism. That is very important. Okay, and when you position yourself also, sit straight, and so that you can maintain eye contact with everyone. Okay, rather than slouching and then looking at the paper that you have with you. Sometimes you carry a piece of paper and a pen with you so that you can note down points as they give you time to prepare on the topic. Okay, so see that you sit comfortably and look at everyone, exchange smiles, and then they'll ask you to start the discussion. Okay, and when they ask you to start the discussion, how you go about with it. Okay, the second thing is stick to the time. So it will be for 10 to 20 minutes. So they give you clear instructions in the beginning, how long is the group discussion and what you're supposed to do. So pay attention to the instruction given by the evaluator. I told you for different organizations or different companies, they have different methods of doing this GD. So initially, as you do start the GD, they give you instructions. So listen carefully. Listening skill is very important in a GD. And then keep track of the group discussion. See that it is not deviating from the main topic. If at all you see group members deviating from the topic, bring it back. That is a leadership quality that you can show. Okay. So if it is deviating, bring them back and bring it to them. And when it comes to conclusion, it is important to incorporate everything that is being mentioned, okay, in the group. So again, a listening skill is very important, so that you pay attention to what everyone has said, and then you will be able to conclude in a proper manner. And here it is not your viewpoint that you conclude. You will be talking about what everyone said and what is the general opinion about the group and what is the conclusion of the group, rather than coming up with your personal opinion. Okay, your viewpoint is not what is expected in a conclusion. If you are concluding, it is the group's conclusion that you need to put on. And if the examiner asks you to summarize, it means that it is time to wind up. So you don't come up with new points, and see that you summarize. And when you are concluding, don't include any new points in your conclusion. Summary or conclusion is to discuss what is being discussed in the group discussion, what is the suggestion put forward, and what is the findings you come up with, or what is a general summary of what was discussed. So that is things you need to keep in mind when you do your group discussion. Then topics, you have various types of topics like abstract topics, current affairs, social issues, and business topics. Okay. And here, abstract topics, it will be very vague topics like red is better than green. Okay, red, they just give you the word red. Okay, so how are you going to relate or talk about that particular topic, such abstract topic? So here are various approaches I've given over here. Just make use of the keyword approach. Yeah, just focus on the word red or the color red, and then relate it with certain areas like red means blood, or red means or related with aggression, okay, or related with aggressiveness, if you want to put that way. Yeah, again, be careful. You mentioned aggressiveness. That there are chances that they interpret you in a very different way. You're a person with a negative attitude. Okay, so be careful with the keywords that you use and the things you're going to relate with. Then you can come up with viewpoints. When related to other topics, you can talk about, look at who are the parties involved and what is the viewpoint of those parties. And then you can also use this approach, that is spelt approach, where you bring into consideration social, political, economical, legal, and technological. Okay, so if you bring in social, you can relate red with some social issues. Might be Red Cross. You can talk about the Red Cross when you hear the word red. When it comes to political, you can talk about Communist Party. When it comes to economical, you can say that the market is red, so there's a problem with the market. When it comes to legal, red tapeism, you can relate it with red tapeism. And when it comes to technological, see what can red be related with. Like that, use that spelt approach and put in your ideas based on that. So that is certain techniques that you can use when you do your group discussion. Then the final thing is tips and tricks that you can adopt when you do your group discussion. So this is out of my experience that I've made this particular point. That is, initiating is always good because it shows your leadership skills. You initiate, okay, and you break that comfort zone, and you're taking the leadership to start the GD. That is why I told you it's a leaderless group, isn't it? When it's a leaderless group, there is equal chance for everyone to start. So who is the person who breaks the comfort zone and starts the GD is very important. But here again, it's high risk, high return strategy. High risk, high return means if you make a mistake, it's a big mistake that you make. So be careful. If you know the topic well and you're confident with the topic, go start. Okay. So that is the thing you need to keep in mind. If I give you an example that happened was they gave a topic like talk about brain drain. Brain drain is bad for India. So a person initiated the GD and started, okay, brain drain is very dangerous because now the number of people in the old age group is increasing, and the memory loss is one common problem we see in this age group. And this is what he started with. And memory loss and brain drain, it's nowhere related. Okay, so that is the biggest mistake he made. He could not understand what is brain drain. So what is brain drain? It is people moving from one country to another country, and their skills and talents are used by a different country, isn't it? So that is brain drain. So if you start by saying that it is memory loss, you make a terrible mistake there. So be confident that you know well about the topic, and then if you're confident, go start it. Okay. And in a real-time situation, everybody would be trying to take an opportunity. So be vigilant, and if you're very confident, take that initiative and start. Okay, and keep track of the discussion. That is another important aspect. You need to keep track of what is happening. Okay, and always and while concluding, see that you conclude it on time, because they'll all be already mentioned about the time within which you need to complete your group discussion. Let's say 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Keep track of the time and see that you wind it up on time. Again, that is a leadership quality, because you're managing things and seeing that everything comes to a conclusion. Okay, you're keeping everything on track, and then you wind up on time. Okay, then be yourself. Don't come up with made-up accents. Be yourself. Okay, and see that you present yourself clearly and be the person you are, and listen attentively. That is one important skill, because you need to pay attention to what others say. Okay, and based on that you can connect with what he said and then continue with your point. Okay? Unless and until you listen, you don't know what the person is saying, and you come up with something else. So for group discussion, there should be connection with what each one is discussing, and to create that connection you require listening skills. And listening skill is one thing that the evaluator would look at. Okay, so pay attention to how do you show that you're listening. Look into the person's eyes who's speaking. That is one thing that you need to keep in mind. Check your body language. Don't be aggressive. Okay, when you're opposing, see that you do it with more polish. Use more polite words so that you show your disagreement without hurting others' feeling. Okay, and then that is what is being assertive, and show your leadership skills. So these are certain things you need to keep in mind while you do your group discussion. So I have this 1 hour time to talk about these 3 topics, which I think I've just given you a basic idea about what is resume, what is interview, and what are the things you need to keep in mind, and what is group discussion. I hope it is helpful for you. And if anybody wants to prepare a CV, you can very well go to canva.com, canva.com. You have beautiful templates in that, where you can prepare, and a lot of features available where you can design your own CV or resume and then get it downloaded. And all your works are stored there. And if you want to make any editing, editing, you can definitely do it and then download a new one. So that option is over there. You can just make use of that site for preparing your resume. So with that, one second. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Okay, so with that, I stop today's class. Thank you so much. Thank each and everyone for giving me this opportunity, and thank you once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session. I hope the students will now benefit and will have the courage to face interviews and group discussion. Once again, thank you, ma'am. So, students, the feedback link is given in the chat box. You fill it up. And with this, we transition into the 4th session of the day, which is the verification session. And I would like to now hand over the session to my esteemed colleague, Pratyasi Barua. Thank you. Ma'am, Gato with
Can you please remove me from the co-host position?
Okay, ma'am, we will do that.
Yeah.
Golden dark.
Sister, hearing it. Marahane, Sanahane. No, no. Sister, Sanahane. Oh, oh. Sister, Sanahane.
তাত গৈ আছে ন আপুনি কৈ দিব দেই কিবা চুচাইড মই কিবা কহচ বনাই দিছোঁ চুচাইড
Right.
Can you?
Yes, sister, you're audible.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, ma'am. Người cứ sai của anh này càng về sai luôn.
last Sunday itu webinar time di mana mati sana hello Rita bibi sudah yang first itu lihat mati benar
I don't know. My feedback link is not working.
ayo gini
Aku buat apa guys?
itu kulka itu depan no they I don't know they're not starting they are not starting yeah already time
So you meet us again. That's what I could get.
sister you can start
Good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of Don Bosco College, Golaghat, I, Ms. Pratyashi Borwa, Assistant Professor, Department of Sociology of Don Bosco College, Golaghat, heartily welcome you all to the valedictory function of the 3-day Students and Faculty Exchange Program for Career Enhancement organized by IQAC Don Bosco College, Golaghat in association with Marian College, Kuttikanam. So, in the last 2 days, we had deep insights into several career paths which our students can choose in the near future and also in this post-COVID world. We had many resource persons from various institutions enlightening us with their knowledge and wisdom. We are highly indebted to all the resource persons for their valuable time and for sharing their knowledge and experiences. So, let's thank God with a prayer for the successful completion of the 3-day program.
Dear God, thank you for allowing us today to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another in this webinar. We are truly grateful for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. May you extend your divine wisdom to our speaker so that he would be able to impart effectively his God-given knowledge to all of us. Bless the participants as well so that they would be able to glean the vital information from this activity and spread what we've learned in the spirit of your love and generosity. May we realize that this activity should glorify your name. Amen.
At the very beginning, I would like to request our Honorable Vice Principal, Father Bimal Lakra, to grace this occasion with his words of welcome. Over to you, Father.
Thank you. At the end of these 3 days of our faculty and students exchange program, it is my pleasure and my joy to welcome for this valedictory function Dr. Binu Thomas, IQAC Coordinator, Marian College. Dr. Father Jose Kurvachera, the Salesian Provincial of Dimapur Province. Father Dr. Roy Abraham, Principal of Marian College. Father Dr. Polikar Khalko, Principal of Don Bosco College, Golaghat. Dr. Sister Sheila Paul, CSJB, IQAC Coordinator of Don Bosco College, Golaghat. Miss Rebecca Surin and Chusai Wangsa, the student representatives of Don Bosco College, Golaghat. And finally, Mrigaki Goswami, HOD, who would be giving the vote of thanks. Welcome to this final session of our program called the valedictory function. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father. Now I would like to invite Dr. Binu Thomas, sir, IQAC Coordinator of Marian College, Kuttikanam, to deliver his felicitation address. Over to you, sir.
Respected Principal of Marian College, Reverend Dr. Roy Abraham, Principal of Don Bosco College, Golaghat, Dr. Sheila, Sister Sheila, IQAC Coordinator of Don Bosco College, all the teachers from Don Bosco College, Golaghat, Marian College, and other participating institutions, students. So we are coming to an end of this 3 days faculty and student exchange program. And from the schedule and also through the variety of programs, I was not able to attend all the programs, but I was able to attend few of the programs. So from these programs, we could realize that these programs were really useful for the participating students, because we were discussing, the common theme was career orientation. So we were discussing a highly relevant topic, especially in this pandemic period. And also we used the ICT facilities for cultural exchange, and that also it was really mesmerizing, I could say. So I would like to congratulate all the organizers. I know that the entire Don Bosco College Golaghat faculty members and students were behind this. We were working hard. So I would like to congratulate all the people who worked behind the success of this program. And also from Marian College also we had a team here for successfully implementing what we had planned as part of this. So let me congratulate, and also I wish that similar kind of programs can be arranged in future also, so that we will be having more associations, more fruitful interactions, academic interactions. So thank you, and once again I congratulate you for organizing this. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would take the opportunity to invite Father Dr. George Kuruvachira, Salesian Provincial, Dimapur. Father is a scholar, teacher and writer. He has a host of books to his credit. He also served as a professor of philosophy at Salesian University, Rome. I request Father to deliver his words of wisdom. Over to you, Father.
Thank you very much to everyone. Good afternoon to everyone, principals, faculty members and students. Am I audible enough?
Yes, Father, you are audible.
Okay. So good afternoon to everyone. I am very grateful to Father Principal, Father Polycarp, for giving me this opportunity to greet you very briefly on the third and final day of the Student and Faculty Exchange Program between Marian College and Don Bosco College, Golaghat, and the partnering institutions. I must congratulate all the organizers, the faculty members, resource persons, and all the participants for arranging this wonderful program. As someone has already said, the topic you have chosen is very relevant: career enhancement or career orientation, a very relevant topic, especially in our time. We know that there are millions of educated, unemployed youth in our country, and many of them remain unemployed for many years due to various reasons. Some are not daring enough, some have no investment possibilities, some lack creativity and initiative. Whatever it be, we've got millions of educated, unemployed youth. So, in order to meet this challenge, we have organized this program, and therefore it is very relevant. And yet we know that all our uneducated, unemployed youth are very rich in resources of intellect, character, personality, knowledge, skills and talents of various kinds, and yet they remain unemployed. We know that most great people are self-made people, and they become great because of their hard work, initiative and enterprise. And I was looking at some of the topics that we have dealt with, like 21st century skills, digital career, experiential learning, personality development, career planning, entrepreneurship development, interviews, and so on. All of them are very relevant topics, and I would invite all of you to make the best use of the opportunities given to you and challenge yourself, be daring, and give your best to what you do, and success will be yours. Good afternoon to everyone, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Father. Now I would like to invite the principal of Marian College, Kutikanam, Father Dr. Roy Abraham, to address this valedictory function. Over to you, Father.
Thank you very much for the welcome. I'm indeed very glad that this 3-day career orientation program, intercollegiate program, was very successful. It was organized very successfully by all participating institutions and leaders from those institutions. My very special congratulations and appreciation for the principal of Don Bosco College. And I'm very glad that the provincial had found time from his busy schedule to attend this small function per se. And I'm very, very glad to see the enthusiasm of both faculty members and students from Don Bosco College, Golaghat. They're trying to make the best out of every opportunity given to them. The kind of programs you organize, you had resource persons addressing you from IITs and people who are placement officers, trainers, like that, and made it's a grand and successful function, useful for everybody. So quality of the program is not just an accident. It's always the result of an intelligent effort. My sincere appreciations, and I look forward to seeing you organizing many programs and inviting Marian also to participate in many ways with the Golaghat College. Maybe this is a cultural exchange and seminar, exchange of knowledge and information and skills through online. Maybe when the pandemic is over, we should make visiting these colleges. Now we would like to come there. You are most cordially invited to this part of the world. Come experience our culture also, so that we will be enriched by your presence. Looking forward to more stronger collaboration in future. I remain, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Father, for your words of appreciation. Now I would like to invite our Honorable Principal, Father Dr. Polikarp Khalkho of Don Bosco College, Golaghat, to deliver his message. Over to you, Father.
Good afternoon to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Father, you are audible.
Yeah, I just now heard Father Principal of Marian College inviting us to have more and more collaborative effort between two colleges, and we, the mentee college, Don Bosco College, Golaghat, are really happy to be part of your college initiatives, and we look forward to much more exchange programs, cultural exchange program, knowledge exchange program, and many other informations that we can be part of. And we are really grateful to you, Marian College, for this program that we had. As I have thanked earlier, this program was initiated in the first place by our former outgoing principal, Dr. Father Jose Palili. He has traveled today. We pray for his safe journey. I would like to thank our provincial, Silesian Provincial of Dimapur, Dr. Jose Kurvachera. He had busy schedule. However, because of his concern for our college, he found the time to address to us. Congratulations to all of you, dear staff and students, the staff and the managing team of Marian College, the staff and the students of Don Bosco College, Golaghat. In a very special way, I would like to thank Dr. Vinu Thomas and Dr. Sister Sheila Paul, the IQAC coordinators. They have organized the program so efficiently, and we look forward to many more programs of this sort. Our staff, they have hosted the program from the, let's say, second part of the first day, or we can say from the second day onwards. I could see their ability to manage situations. There were times technical difficulties, technical issues were there, were able to resolve in a very efficient manner. I would like to congratulate them. I'd like to thank them. I'd like to thank them for the dedication, though it went much beyond the stipulated time sometimes, and yet they stayed by with a great commitment for the good of the students. Now students have participated in the program. I'm sure they have learned and gained a lot. Most of the students were very actively present from the chat messages that they were posting. We could see they were actively present. There are students who are also physically present in the college. However, they were participating online. They were, let's say, beneficiaries, much more beneficiaries than those who are not present in the campus. So once again, I would like to thank everyone who were comparing, who were hosting the program, those who organized the program, and whatever way they have contributed. I'm grateful to them, and I look forward to such more events in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father. Now I would like to invite Sister Dr. Sheila Paul. She is the IQAC coordinator of Don Bosco College, Golaghat, and also a teaching faculty in the Department of Education. This program would not be a successful one without her immense support, valuable guidance, and encouragement. I request Sister to deliver her words of appreciation. Over to you, Sister.
It's my great honor to propose the thanks and appreciation to all who have associated us making this 3-day students faculty exchange program for career enhancement from 14th to 16th December 2020, a successful academic event. It's organized by IQAC Don Bosco College of Golaghat, Assam, in collaboration with the IQAC Marian College of Education and partnering institutions JPM College, Katakada, St. Anthony's College, Telangana, and St. Mary's College, Telangana. We appreciate and thank our distinguished and honorable resource persons and speakers for sharing your precious knowledge and presentations with us. Congratulations to all the resource persons from Marian College, Don Bosco College, Golaghat, and Amalturi Engineering College. We have eminent personalities for this particular function. We are extremely happy to have Dr. Father Joseph Torichova, a Salesian provincial, Dimapur, Nagaland, as a chief guest for this particular function and encouraging us with the words of wisdom. Your encouragement and support for the growth of this young institution is remarkable. Thank you
Not India. Notice now, not India.
for your gracious presence in this virtual platform. We do appreciate and thank Reverend Father Roy Abraham, the principal of Marian Autonomous College, for inaugurating and blessing this National Students Faculty Exchange Program for career enhancement. We experienced and learned that you and your faculty collaborated excellently for the accomplishment of this program. Indeed, the Marian Autonomous College, Governmental College, assisting and promising us in all the way possible for the knack of education. Indeed, great honor. We acknowledge and appreciate Reverend Father Dr. Principal of Don Bosco College, Golaghat. Peace and efficient passion and vision to enhance the quality of institute. As he has newly joined as a principal in the college, we wish you and bless you all the very best to lead the college and take its academic heights. We appreciate your enthusiasm to make this needed career enhancement for education sounding one. We will thank and express our appreciation to Reverend Father Vimalaka, Vice Principal and PRO, Don Bosco College, for his timely guidance. We are We are extremely happy to express our profound gratitude to Dr. Jose Aleni for his commitment, guidance, and inspiration for the success of 3-day program of career enhancement. He is a determined person to take this college into the pinnacle of excellence, what we dramatic education. I can proudly say that 70-80% of the market education of this country
70 responsible will be better.
We are very much into on and efficient Dr. Vinod's IPS oriented and their organized ways. Indeed, I acknowledge your patience with us to organize this program with the Father Dr. Jose Aleni for passing the night of education at the college. This is ever unknown in the lives of students and the faculty, and we deserve for all your support and your encouragement. We do appreciate the Professor Harry Cletus, the principal of St. Edward's College and ambassador of Dharmash team, who is guiding us for the institutional education. We appreciate his availability for the IQS and the faculty to clarify any doubts regarding 7 criteria in the NAT process. As no program can become successful with a single person. I extend and express a word of thanks and appreciation to IQS team, the students, professors, and students of Don Bosco College as a noticed, and the IQS team, Marian of Don Bosco College to become. This gives me immense pride.
Yeah, very low. Very low.
Thank you so much, sister. Now I would like to invite our 2 students, Rebecca Sorin and Chusai Wangsa, to summarize this 3-day students and faculty exchange program through a beautiful presentation.
Not yet. Presentation is there.
Wait a minute.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Rebecca Surin, along with Chusai Wangsha, student of BA 5th semester Department Political Science. From Don Bosco College, Golaghat, take the opportunity on behalf of all these students to present a summary of 3 days webinar.
Good afternoon, everyone. 3 days students and faculty exchange program for career enhancements organized by IQAC, Don Bosco College, Golaghat, in collaboration with Marian College, Kodikunam, Autonomous and Partnership Institution and partnering institutions has finally come to an end. Now we will summarize the 3-day program through a small presentation. First day, the session was hosted by Dr. Bridges George John, who is the international trainer, motivational speaker, YouTuber, author, career and placement consultant. The topic of his deliberation was on career orientation. The topics which he has discussed with the students was reskilling and upskilling is the key to success, and identify and explore vast online resources, and to be unique. And these are some of the online platforms that he has suggested for our students: MOOC, Coursera, Index, Udemy, Khan Academy, Udacity, SWAM, and NPTEL. And for the online part, he also said that students can earn money through while studying. So he has suggested that some websites like shutterstock.com, here we can click some beautiful pictures and share in this website, and twitterweb.com, here we can give online tuition, and checkindia.com for the expert students and the teachers. Here they can help the other students to write the notes, and they can share their essays and all. Now over to Rebecca.
Dr. Pradip Chandrasekharan. Took the second session on topic careers in investment banking. To be skilled, it says about you should be skilled, and if you are skilled, you'll be selected easily and you will be paid more. And with the Finmark, it's a company leading to the financial market, the financial literacy company. The third season was taken by Madam Josie Jose on effective alumni engaged. Here, the good practice to build community, to provide a supportive experiences. It can be done through sharing the alumni's activities such as the sports events as done by the alumni and some of the photos and the settings done in the programs, and also can be done it in a practical approaches.
Next, the fourth session, we have a topic on the topic of interaction and online competitions, business ideas for sustainability. Here we have the Mr. Basudev Sharma, Assistant Vice President, Axis Bank, share his insights on financial planning and investing. And he further discussed on mutual funds and various factors related to it. And one of our students, Lidona Intepi of BCom 5th semester, also prepared a presentation on sustainable business plan. And Mr. Sar Anjan Barali, HOD Department, Commerce, presented on sustainable entrepreneurship on Northeast India. And Mr. Bijoy Gogai, Assistant Professor, Department, Political Science, gave away the vote of thanks.